All right. How's it go? How's it going? Let's see how this sounds. All right. How's it go? How's it going? Sounds fine. Chewing gum, so forgive me if you hear that. Oh. I need to charge my iPad. Those of you watching, let's start here in a few minutes. What I want to do... LS Chess, the GOAT, what's up? What is going on? All right. How we doing? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're having a lovely Thursday evening. Let's see how this setup works. Need to charge my iPad. I just have a charger here. Let me see. So, anyone who just joined, 6 more games till adopt. Yeah, I think it's actually 4 though, if I'm not mistaken. Because I'm already on a 2-0, I was already on a 2-0 streak against him. I actually did think about that, believe it or not. I think it's 4 technically. So we just do another match, just make an adoption match. But, I don't know, neither here nor there. Just getting set up. We'll get going with the chess here in a little bit. Just getting situated for this Thursday night recap. Swallow my gum real quick. Yeah, sometimes I just swallow gum instead of, spitting it out. Because I'm too lazy to, find somewhere to spit it. So, legend has it that just stays there for, 7 years or whatever. So, we'll have to deal with that. Alright, so we're going to be recapping rounds 3 and 4 of my match versus Eric Ney. Going into the games Thursday, I was up 2-0. So Eric would have to 2-zip me to tie the match, which probably was going to be pretty unlikely. You never know, but probably unlikely. He could probably scalp me if he scores at least a point. And so, yeah, so he's just trying to play spoiler. There's still motivation. There's motivation for, him to play spoiler and for me to, not mess it up. Because ideally, even though I probably said earlier, I wasn't really in it for the rating necessarily. Ideally, we don't lose rating out of this. I think I need 3.5 to, guarantee rating, to gain rating. So... let's get this show on the road. The show being the games. Round 3 was crazy. So, I had the white pieces. And you could probably tell from, rounds 1 to 2 that I was, mixing things up a little bit. In round 1, I played Knight of 3, G3, just a full-on KIA. In round... I just drew Bishop 2 versus no pieces 2 in Blitz. Wait, Bishop and 2 pawns versus no pieces and 2 pawns. Oh, that's impressive. That's an impressive draw. So, I played Knight 3 G3. In my black game, I played Alekines. And I decided in this game to go E4, shocking the audience. Did you look at Bishop G4 some? A little bit, but not enough. So we'll obviously get to that. So I play E4, and Eric plays C6, and So I knew that he would probably play the Caro-Kann, which is kind of good to know what your opponent's going to do when you play something that you're not really, you don't really do much. There are multiple ways to play this. The most common way is to play d4, just take the center. I decided to play knight f3, d5. And here I can play knight c3, like the two knights variation. There are some cool lines there. But I decided to play d3. A certain someone suggested that I play d3 if I get this position. The idea, of course, being that he could take and trade queens, but I'm pretty content with this. I think there are moves like, I could put a knight on d2, c3, king c2, push both pawns, things like that. And I'm just going to play chess from here. And given the match situation, I'm up 2-zip. I didn't really mind like a pretty solid game. Obviously, I'd rather win, but I wasn't really going to go all out. So, in this position, he played bishop g4, which I did look at. Some other possibilities could include e6, although I'm not sure why you'd block your bishop out. That kind of really doesn't make sense, but like e6 is a possibility. I think knight f6 always runs to e5. Obviously there's takes, there's something else. Maybe there wasn't something else I was thinking of, but I think g6 is a line, but I didn't really expect him to play it. I didn't really look at g6. So he plays bishop g4. Now, I was aware of sort of the best move. The best move here is h3, and he should take on f3, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I guess bishop h5 is up there as well. I think the theory says takes. No, the theory's kind of split. g6 is your line. Yeah, that's cool. So after h3, he played bishop h5, and so it was like I looked at this. I played g6 in Norm versus Lucius. Yeah. So I was looking at this. I knew from having looked at it that g4 is fine, but I knew it wasn't best. I knew the theoretical move was queen e2. Now, I didn't exactly know why. I assumed it was just because you just avoid the queen trade. Because I assume, like, now you don't really want to trade queens because there's, like, kind of this pin going on. So I played queen e2 because I knew it was the best move. He played e6, and I was out of prep, so I did not know sort of what to do here. I think I played c3, which is a safe move, but it's not, like, the best. Probably the best move. I'm just curious to just, like, look at this, in case we ever play in the future. But you have to play g4 and then h4. Okay, so you do go all out. See, I think I was looking at that stuff, g4 and h4, but, like, a move earlier. Like, if I had gone, like, here, there's just some lines, like, I remember not being enthused about something, but I forget. Oh, yeah. It's that if takes, like, h5, kind of got messy. But I guess maybe, like, a tempo later. Oh, the queens are... So if he takes, I can just take, and then I still just have this threat. Whereas, earlier my queen was on d1. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that didn't really occur to me. That's why I'm, like, not that good at chess, is because, like, I can, like, dismiss an idea, like, one move, and then the next move is like, it suddenly works, and I don't really recognize that. So, yeah, so g4 and h4. So, I played c3, and I guess I'm just passive here. Computer likes black, so I played c3, knight d7, then I played g4, bishop, and then he took. So he took first. I thought a little bit about taking, but I didn't really see the point. Like, just takes, queen takes. I don't know. I guess the pawns would be hard to sort of, like, attack, but I didn't really want to play into this. So I just took. They played bishop g6. The problem, though, and maybe looking back, it would have been better for me to actually play like that, because this pawn was just hard to defend. He was able to put a lot of resources into attacking this pawn, playing here. Obviously, there's the bishop. And I don't have very many resources to protect. Because I can't play bishop d3. I could play, like, knight d2, but, then what, right? So, the queen on e2 kind of, like, makes it inconvenient. It's kind of looking back practically. I kind of do wish I had taken. I think this would have been easier to play. Even though, I mean, obviously the double pawns are not ideal. I have more activity. I can get my bishop out easier. I could get both bishops out. Maybe I castle queenside or something like that. What's up, Jeremiah? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. We're just recapping a over-the-board match that I just finished against Eric Ney. At this point in the match, because rounds 1 and 2 were Tuesday, I'm up 2-0. So I'm just trying to close it out with the final 2 games. Actually, let me adjust something real quick. There we go. I realized there was a little black space there. Actually, wait. This actually does not look right. There we go. Nice. All right. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. So we are currently on this position where I play g4 to sort of like unpin the knight and attack the bishop. And he took here first, which tempos the knight. I just took back, and then he played bishop g6. And then there's a whole problem with my e-pawn being sort of loose because... Oh, this is Evan? Nice. Okay. I feel like I've seen... Jeremiah looked familiar. I feel like you've came in here under your that ID before, but I didn't know it was you. So, welcome. Okay, yeah. So, how's it going? So, I played e4, Evan. I don't know what you think, but I played e4. And played this Caroline with d3. And we were just looking at some stuff. Like, I knew here, theoretically, queen e2 was the move, but I didn't, know why. And then... I think we're in this position. Also, by the way, Evan, a little birdie told me that you, I think you're taking a job in Dallas. Hopefully I'm not misinformed, but if that's the case, congratulations. Really cool that you got one and that you're staying in Dallas. But if that's misinformation, please let me know. It's like my monk here. Yeah, fair enough. So, let's see. Okay, so... He played bishop g6. I played bishop g5, which is a move I was not really proud of. It was just kind of an instinctual move, because it just allows him to play queen b6. So lame. Yeah, fair enough. Hate playing against this as black, not gonna lie. Yeah, I got a sick job in Plano. Oh, well, a sick job is better than a not sick job, so I'm very glad to hear that. I'm glad you don't have to go to Carolina. Queen b6 was on the board, and... there's some thought I had here. Like, I can't really just play, because, like, he's putting pressure here, and I can't just play, like, knight d2 or something, because he takes. And I thought about, like, sacking it. I thought about, like, going here, allowing this, and then going rook b1, queen takes. I just wasn't sure. I didn't really like what was going on. I guess here there's knight c5, which is concrete. It was supposed to be a surprise, but oh well. Well, no one watches this. It's okay. But yeah. Who told me? I think Ethan told me. Yes, Ethan told me because, well, I heard that there's maybe a match in the works, but I don't want to spoil anything more. So we had a whole conversation. Let me actually adjust some things real quick, because I need to. 1 second, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and move the iPad to this side. Oh, hi, Jackie. How's it going? Good to see you. 1 second. I'm gonna be muted for a second. We watch? Nice, that's good to hear. Yeah. I was just saying earlier, I'm glad that Evan got a job, and a good job apparently. I'm glad to hear that. Alright, I think we're all situated. Ethan only knew because I offered my place for Southwest and I offered to play him in a match. Okay, yeah. Yeah. That we kind of had that conversation. Is Ethan... Are y'all going to Southwest? I don't think I can, unfortunately. I don't know if anyone from, like, Baylor was going, but... Alright. I think we're all situated. So for anyone who's just joining, we're looking at this first game. It was e4, c6, knight f3, d3, bishop g4, h3, bishop h5, queen e2. to avoid the queen trade, e6, and here I should have played g4 and h4, but I didn't. I played c3, which was kind of timid. Here I was out of book. I didn't really know what to do. I kind of like, you kind of like diversify like what you look at when you prep. So I didn't really spend too much time here, so I wasn't sure what to do. But c3, g4, and then takes, and then queen b6, bishop b3, and queen c7. Fair enough. I'd lose every game. Yeah, I feel like I'd struggle too. Yeah, that entry fee is crazy. Isn't it like, is it 200 or is it maybe a little less? But either way, it's an insane entry fee. But okay, so you play queen c7. So black's always better in these lines. Black's always better in these lines. Like the e pawn is very vulnerable, and it's never really like opportune for me to play e5 just because like the light squares would be very weak. So after queen c7, I play knight d2, protecting the pawn. He played knight f6, and here I played bishop g5. Not really the best move. It's saying that after knight c5, black is just doing really well. Best move is apparently knight h4. I thought knight h4 just drops a pawn. Am I... Okay, so I guess if knight takes, there's this. And if bishop takes, there's like knight takes, knight takes. Is it saying I have some like tactic? I was thinking about some tactic with bishop a7, but I thought there was like knight c3. Knight h4, bishop takes, knight takes, knight takes. I guess I just drop the pawn, just castle. It's just saying castles, and then you just play this. Okay, fair enough. That is fair enough. I guess it's just the lesser of the two evils, or the lesser of the multiple evils. So, knight gf6. Once we get everything situated in the apartment, we'd love to have y'all over. Oh, that's sweet. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'd love to come over. Have some more tamales. I assume you'll be able to like make them in your apartment, but nice. Bishop g5, and here, so I play bishop g5, uncovering the defense of the pawn, but also I have an idea of just taking and eliminating one of his defenders. Then here he played h5, and I'm like, you know, he's just making things very tricky, so I wasn't sure what to do. I think if I take, it's just like dead in the water. He plays bishop takes, he has this pin. I thought about some certain things, because he's also just threatening this with the pin. So I played what I thought was most logical. I played bishop takes, sort of, and the reason for that is I'm kind of opening this possibility up. Probably knight h4 is better. I kind of thought like knight h4. I was thinking about this. And then I guess I can take... Oh, did I miss that? See, I saw this line with like knight h4 and then taking the pawn... Well, my arrows are off. Knight h4 and taking the pawn, like, I think a move later. But I wasn't exactly sure what's going on. So after h5, I play bishop takes, which is bad because of g takes. Which, honestly, it did occur to me, but I didn't think he would play it. He didn't play it, but I honestly thought it was just like... I thought g takes, I would play g5. I guess he just ignores me. He just says, you know... It said h4. It also even says f takes is fine. And then h4. And then, yeah, he's just kind of coming in. Yeah, this is not pleasant, to say the least. I don't know, I thought I would maybe just, like, play something like, you know, say bishop g2, he castle. I guess it is kind of, like, bad. There's, like, bishop h6, yeah. So, knight takes. So after bishop takes, he just played knight takes, the natural recapture. The other move we were thinking about is him taking. So I took the knight, right? Instead of recapturing immediately, he could just take. What I was going to do during the game was I was just going to go here. And then we were looking at this after bishop takes, queen takes, I think we were looking at knight e5, like, after the game, we just weren't sure what's going on. It just looked really good for black. But I think I was going to go into that. But apparently after takes, there's a better move, knight h4. Yeah, that figures. And then g takes, knight takes. Yeah, probably knight h4 is actually better, right? Because you're just going to, like, damage the pawn structure anyway, so you might as well. Yeah. I'm seeing Facebook, stalking Facebook real quick. Cool. Alright, so after knight takes f6, I played g5. So this was my whole idea behind playing bishop takes, was to invoke knight takes. And then after g5, knight d7. So I'm going to turn lines off. Just, it's hard, like, with lines because you just, like, look at them. But, I'm going to have, well, not, it doesn't really affect anything on your end, but sometimes I have the engine, like, the actual lines on, and they can be distracting. So I played knight h4 with the idea, of course, to take. And if he just drops back, I can just take the pawn. And it's a little bit awkward, because, like, yes, there's kind of a discovery, but also the bishop's pinned. And then I have a threat of g6. I thought I was doing fine here. I wonder what the move for black is. Oh, bishop takes e4. Oh, he has a discovery. Ah. Queen takes, bishop takes, and it's just like, yeah. Just a mess. Just a mess. Okay. So after knight h4, he very confidently castled queenside, which is understandable. Like, I do get the pawn structure damaged, but he has a lot of compensation for the damaged pawn structure. He has, like, a knight coming into c5. It's surprisingly hard for me to just defend against, like, knight c5, knight d3. Almost the best thing for me to do in some positions is just let it happen, honestly. So I had a pretty long think, I think, here. And also I'm, like, approaching time pressure. I don't have, like, so I'm wondering what this scene looks like. Yeah, if you ever see me kind of checking this, it means I'm checking, like, the time. Because unfortunately the timestamps there's not really a way to, like, kind of copy them over. So at this point, this is move 16. Oh, what? No, this is the last game. No spoilers, no spoilers. No spoilers. Okay, not that really matters. I'm sure people saw it anyway. After f takes. Okay, so I had 19 minutes here, and then took 10 minutes to play bishop g2. Because, yeah, I was, like, looking, I was just staring at this, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? There's one critical line, or one thing, which is that I can't castle queenside. I thought I can. Apparently it's fine, because the computer's not budging, but I saw queen a5 attacking this. And I thought that, like, you know, I was just losing a pawn. Maybe it's just saying that's fine, and that, you know, I just, like, I just have some compensation. I didn't see anything concrete. The line I kind of saw was, like, my plan, if I were to go into this, was going to be to play queen e3, protecting this, and then go, like, here. And then check here. Apparently king c2 is better, but I was going to do like this. Then I have pressure here. I have pressure here, although it's defended. So I wasn't exactly sure what's going on. Apparently, let me turn on the lines, because I do want to get this correct. So if I castle, which is the second best move. If I castle, then he goes queen a5, I play f4. And then after queen takes, I just go here. And I have compensation in the endgame, which is crazy. Queen c4 after queen a5. That might work as well, queen c4 directly. Let me think. Queen c4, I think there's like... Oh, if he takes, there's takes. Trying to see without the computer. Maybe there's like a knight c5 or something like that. It's just saying this, and then bishop c5, and he's fine. That's also probably pretty viable, though. Sorry, was there something else? I was looking at, computer says f4. Honestly, I don't know that I would have played f4 at all. And if takes, I then go queen c4. But the line I was looking at, I was gonna play queen e3. And if he took, then I bishop c4. Oh, that's so straightforward, right? Yeah. Well, sorry, no. I'm having a brain fart. Because I did look at this, but I saw he could check. Then I go here. Okay, so this is the line. Boom, boom. And then I'm attacking the queen and the pawn. Wow, that's crazy. Okay. So I really should have just castled queenside, honestly. But, I mean, it says it's the second best move, or, like, first. Bishop g2 is up there, though, which is actually surprising. Honestly, my idea with bishop g2 was I might, if he plays knight c5, I might just castle. Yeah, knight c5, I wasn't sure. I think I was just going to castle, just get out of there. I thought about going long and allowing knight d3 here. And just being like, you know, I'm threatening knight c4. I'm not sure what your knight's doing. Apparently knight f4 here is good, though. Then queen f1. Yeah, this kind of looks a little bit ugly. So, after bishop g2, he doesn't play knight c5, kind of the sort of obvious move. I'm not saying this condescendingly, like he should have played it. Actually, it is the best move that he played, which is this. So, he did a good job of sort of realizing that there's a weakness, which is this guy. So he can start putting resources on the f-pawn, and there's not a lot I can do. I played knight b3. He played rook f8. And so he's allowing me to take if I want. Sorry, he didn't play rook f8. No, he played queen f4. Because rook f8 was, I think, what I thought he played. But he played queen f4. So, yeah, taking is just, like, as close to suicidal as it gets. Because of knight takes, and he can come in. Like, my best course of action is to castle, and then just, like, lose this pawn. I mean, apparently I have some compensation after f4, but that wouldn't have been fun. I guess the one good thing for me is that I always have, like, you know, these weaknesses. But, you know, like, if I'm ever down a pawn, but he still has his weak e-pawn, like, I have that to play for, but not really enthused. So I spent, so after queen f4, I had 8 minutes left. Sorry guys, my nose is a little itchy. After queen f4, sorry, 1 second guys, actually. I don't know, like, what it is. I wouldn't say it's a placebo effect. It's something to where, like, whenever I record, my nose just starts to itch. It's so, like, annoying. It's like, and I talked about in a previous video, like, I think it's just that, like, I know, like, on camera, I'm not supposed to do, like, this. It's gross, even though, like, I'm not really gonna be anywhere else. Like, you know, I'm not, like, shaking someone's hand right after this, but, or handling food, but, like, my brain, like, knows that I'm, you know, not supposed to take care of my nose in the primitive way, so it decides to mess with me. I don't know, but anyway, no one's watching this anyway, right? Black's position is kinda, yeah, kinda, I don't know what that smirk means, because, I mean, I don't think it means sus. I don't think Black's position's sus. I think it's fine. I think it's pretty good, but yeah. It is pretty good. So queen f4, yeah, he's just gonna like pile up, and then he is, of course have ideas of knight e5, knight d3, and I'm like, you know, it's probably close to losing, honestly, like positionally. Like, I probably have to play like best moves here to sort of like hold. I played h4 after some thought, because I was kind of concerned about this, which maybe looking back is kind of silly. I'm not exactly sure. The top move is knight d4. Which I considered. I think after knight d4. Okay, no, that's what I thought. I didn't, you know, wasn't 100% sure, but yeah, Black's position's pretty good. I think we can all agree on that. Why did I not play knight d4? I was probably just worried about, like, bishop takes and then, like, take. I don't know. I don't even remember. But I played H4, and here I have under 5 minutes. On move 19, I have under 5 minutes, so I stopped notating, but the game's on DGT. So he played Rook HF8, obviously piling pressure here. I played Knight D4. He had quite a long think and missed a key resource. Black to play and win, essentially. So the move's probably natural. You probably don't really need to like think a lot about it, but I think the variations are pretty interesting. So I'll just let you look at it for a second if you want, but so my idea behind Knight D4 was just to sort of like block this bishop and also threaten this. If he ever like defends the E pawn, I could even play like Bishop H3 and just continue the attack. But here, he has a key resource. He can just leave this hanging. Not quite E5. I think I just go Knight E6. Because the thing that I saw is that if E5, I could just play Knight E6. And if check, I just go King... Wait, I can't go King F1. Wait, if I go King F1, Queen G3 is winning? Oh, when I take, he puts another rook. But I play King D... Wow, King D1's cold. Even though, like, because, like... Yeah, because during the game, I was going to play, like, King F1. But he can play Queen G3. I think I just missed this concept of just recapturing with the other rook. And then, yeah, this is just dead in the water. But after E5, Knight E6, Bishop takes. Apparently, like, King D1 and, like... He has a knight, but no real... I guess any discovery, I would just take the rook. And, you know, I guess there's this. But, like, this looks scary, but I guess black doesn't have anything concrete. Like, the best move is just Bishop takes H4 to start collecting the pawns. King safe on C2. Yeah, King's pretty surprisingly safe. It's actually, like, this is actually very scary optically. But after Knight D4, the best move, which he didn't find, is Knight E5. So you just let this hang. If I were to take, so I think during our analysis, because me, Eric, Jason, we were going over this, we thought Knight D3, which is a good move, but Bishop takes F2 is just way better actually. This same line with Bishop takes and Queen G3 is just GG. But we were looking at some lines. We were looking at Knight D3, because if Queen takes, he takes on F2 and then takes my Queen. If King F1, he just takes and then it's just lights out. If King D1, we were kind of looking at this because we were like not exactly sure. Now King D1 is illegal. Yeah. We were not exactly sure like what to do here, because like, you know, there's this fork and we're just trying to evaluate like what the best way to get out of it is. Like, do you take on B2? Do you take here? I think we were even looking at like Knight B4 to cover the C2 square. Apparently here Knight B2's the best. Even Queen takes F2 is fine though. Knight takes, King C2, and there's like Rook D2. Yeah, this is just like ugly, but even cleaner would have been Bishop takes. Oh yeah, King D1's illegal. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, King D1's illegal, and then King F1, Queen G3. This is the key motive. So, I mean, after Knight E5, I just like, I have nothing. In the game, I probably would have taken, and then, you know, we would have seen. He probably would play Knight D3, is what I'm guessing. I just would have had to like pray that he didn't find the resource after King D1. Because it was kind of tricky. Kind of looking back, I think we were looking at something like, we saw a lot of lines the king was escaping to C2, so we thought about like Knight B4 at some point. Then Knight takes, Rook takes, King E1. Was it this line? I'm trying to remember. Maybe I'm thinking about a different line. I'm thinking about some line where you just like play, you have the knight on F4 and you take G2. I'm not exactly sure. There's a lot of complications there. And the computer just makes fools out of all of us, right? So, after Knight D4, Eric was pretty frustrated. I think he just didn't see like the proper resources. He just took the knight, which kind of lets me back in the game. Because after C takes, I want to check how much time I had. I still had like 4.5 minutes here. He played e5, which is good practically. I know I said good practically as the eval bar just shoots back up. Apparently there was something better. Apparently c5 was the better move. I guess the idea is if d5 he has knight e5. Actually, that's actually pretty instructive. Because with e5, you don't have that square. Which I guess, like, I don't know. Because I think the knight can do more on e5 than it could on, like, c5. From e5, you could go to, like, g4 or f3. Whereas after d5, knight c5, which I think would happen. Yeah, knight c5. There's not enough. Now, here apparently I'm winning if I castle kingside. I didn't do that. But I think the problem here for him would be that, like, which I tried to exploit, but I blundered in the process, is that if he just goes pawn hunting, I can go like rook a to c1, and then he has this. If he ever allows me to, like, take, I can play, like, queen a6 in some situations. Like, suddenly, all hell is breaking loose. So, I should have just castled here. I didn't do that. I tried to take advantage of this. I did see that this was, like, you know, pretty awkward for him. And played queen c2, which throws the game. And he finds the move knight d3. He finds knight d3, and I am not doing very well. Honestly, during the game, I was looking at this, like, in my time pressure. I thought he was going to, like, take. I just missed knight d3. I thought he would do this and then get the fork. I was looking at this, rook takes, and trying to, like, see if I could, like, try to hold this. Something like this. And then here, I think he has rook d7. You know, I mean, you know, you could play it, I guess, but in time pressure, it was kind of a situation where, like, I was in time pressure, but he was starting to get into it as well. So the momentum's kind of, like, shifting in that realm. After knight d3, I play queen takes, he played queen takes, and he took. And obviously I'm dead lost. I didn't even realize that queen h3, which is what I played, was straight up losing. So after queen h3, he takes and takes d5. He does not find the killer blow, or he doesn't see the killer blow, which is rook f1. Rook f1 here just wins the game straight up. For whatever reason, I think he was in time pressure. Like, not, like, severely, but I think he was just feeling the pressure, feeling tense or whatever, and didn't find rook f1. So, he played c takes d5. And I took a minute. I'm like, compose myself, because, like, I realized he missed rook f1. I gotta, like, you know, obviously get out of it. So, I played check, king b8, rook c5, trying to, like, just go after these pawns. Like, he can take. He's up 3 pawns at the moment, but after I play king e2, like, the problem is these pawns are weak. If he loses both, like, I'm not exactly sure that this extra pawn is all that decisive for him, but obviously, it's not like I have 2 free moves to just take. He can generate counterplay. He played rook d8 first. I played rook f3, rook c3. Just trying to get some action going on the 7th rank. He plays rook f7. He plays rook f4. I don't know, kind of weird that he plays, like, rook f7 then rook f4. I think just rook f4 straight away is probably good. And then he could, like, take. Rook takes g7. I don't know. I guess here, like, you know, yeah, I don't know. I'm just playing through the lines. I'm not even sure what's going on. But this is starting to get to mutual time pressure sort of territory. I did feel good, though, because I definitely felt like the momentum had shifted. And that, you know, if I collect the pawns, you know, get some rooks to the 7th, I could even be, like, playing for a win, potentially. So, I played rook c7. He took. I took. He played check. I took. He took here. And then I played king d5. I don't know if it was here or, like, maybe a move later. He offered a draw, which I declined because I could see the momentum kind of shifting. Because, like, once he takes this pawn, I'm going to take this guy, and I have a passed pawn to work with, so you just never know. King takes, But I did feel like at the very least I would draw this. He played h4. I played king. So yeah. So yeah, rook h6. I guess it said it was just winning, but then it's saying it's a draw. So here I decided to like be a little trickster. I was like, I'm just gonna play here and threaten mate, just hopefully he doesn't see it. Cause I think he also had like maybe under 10 seconds or something. Then so I like play king d6. And I like take my hand off and realize that like, you know, like why it's a bad move, but I'm like, you know, I can't take it back, so I just hit the clock, just hoping he wouldn't see this. I just allowed a skewer with rook a6. But he didn't notice it. I think he was mainly just concerned about defending mate. So he just played like he played a5. I played rook h6, you know, going after the pawn, but also advancing. Okay, it might have. Oh, my tournament has been rated. I didn't even see the email. That's funny. I'll check that here in a second. He played rook h2, then after g6. In the process of trying to play a4, he flagged, and I won the game on time. Now, a4 specifically is winning for me because I can check. Well, I think I was going to go here, and then after rook g2, I can check, and then queen, rook takes. And I guess this looks a little bit tricky because of the pawns, but I think he pushes one. Let's say he goes like here. I can just go, during the game I probably would have done this. Yeah, it's winning, because, you know, I'm always going to go here and then just catch the pawn. If he goes to a3, I probably would have gone like here. And then a2, here, here, here. Oh, that's with check. But even then, I'll get the pawn, obviously. So, yep. We got the dub. It was a very ugly game, I would say. Lost on time, really unfortunate. And, yeah. Also, I did get my rating. Let's see what the rating is. Okay. I won't spoil it, just in case, like, you know, anyone's, like, you know, just watching for the suspense. But at this point, we're up 3-0 in in the match. So we're up 3-0. Fourth game is going to be Eric just trying to play spoiler. I'm just going to save this. I have the black pieces. And against e4, I decided to play Sicilian with c5. He plays knight c3 and f4. I decided to play, like, I know the best move is probably, like, d5 and just try and, like, play for that, like, space. I decided to play a6, which I knew was a move. I don't really know the theory or anything like that. Honestly, I'm just kind of, like, playing off a whim here. So after a6, knight f3, b5, he plays d4, which seemed a little bit weird, but what also seemed weird was playing queen takes instead of knight takes. I wasn't exactly sure what's going on there. But he played queen takes. I played knight c6, queen e3, bishop e4. Which here is actually, apparently white's doing really well after bishop d2, which is interesting. I guess bishop d2, castles, and e5 is the structure it's going for. But, I don't know. Bishop e2 is what he played. Knight f6, bishop d2. I started to realize, like, he's not really doing very well in this position. Like, bishop is kind of, like, passively placed. He just has a queen just on e3. So, I didn't really think this, like, was that good for him. And here, I played a tricky move. I played queen e7. Now, it is a mistake. I didn't know it was a mistake. I just thought it was fine, even if he saw my trick. I'm trying to see. I mean, apparently bishop d3 is just fine. Bishop d3 would defend against my threat. So, after queen e7... So, queen e7, the threat is to play bishop c5, queen d3, and knight b4. And the queen's just trapped. Which he didn't see. After h3, I just went bishop c5. and his queen's trapped on move 10. So, after bishop c5, he just took it. He could just play down a piece, just play like knight d5 or something like that. The idea would be that if I took, then he escapes with the queen. I think I would have just done this. Just trade all the pieces. And just play this endgame. It's probably just as winning, honestly. Jason was really encouraging him to, like, just play that, and it might be, like, closer, but I think it probably... Maybe, if anything, not having the queen, but eliminating my bishop makes things a little bit trickier. E5, I played b4. I mean, the details here aren't really that important. He tried to make things a little bit tricky with, like, you know, bishop h5, like, you know, just making some threats. I just sat on g5. He took, and then I played check, and he just resigned here. So, I don't know, cool Sicilian game, I guess. So now, my rating is published. 1 second, let me open it up. My new rating is 1770. So, after 4-0ing Eric, pretty formidable opponent, lower rated, but pretty formidable. We go 4-0, and I gain 23 points. Not bad. Honestly, a little better than I thought. I thought I would gain less, because they don't really give you as many points for 4-0ing a match that if you say 4-0'd, like, you know, the same opposition but in a tournament. Because I think because in the match, they kind of take into consideration, like, you know, the difference at the time. I don't know, but I honestly thought I was kind of like, you know, like, you know, I think my thing was, like, I'll be happy if it was 1770. So there it is. I mean, 30 points to 1800. So I'm not exactly sure. We do have the Waco Swiss coming up in 2 days. Really, it'll be a week from tomorrow. It's not a week from tomorrow. A day from tomorrow. And I think the registration changed a little bit because, like, I think there were 23 players, but it's been... there were 21 players, but there are now 23. And yes, I'm the 2 seed, you know, so we'll see how that goes. I wonder if I can recognize who joined. Probably just some of these random people. So it looks like as things stand, I'm trying to see in round 1 who I would play. Because I think this guy is going to take a bye. Let's see. I say that because it does say bye here. So I'm just going to do something. I'm just going to copy. I'll go here. I'm not really trying to format this fancily. Let's delete this column. I'm going to delete this guy because he won't be paired in round 1, presumably. I need to, like, let's do this. Let's go and then work down the line. Don't really need this. Don't really need these either, honestly. Let's just... Okay, so there'll be 22 players paired in round 1. So the top half versus bottom half. So given that there would be 2 sets of 11 players, so the top of the bottom half is Vincent. So the 1 seed would play him, which means that I would play Umar. And then I would play Umar. Matthew would play Arshan. Krish would play Yugon. Daryl would play Tharun. Benjamin would play Ahir. Jonathan would play Guna. So, yep. That's how it goes. So we'll see. I was looking at this kid, by the way. Like, he's improved really fast. I mean, no one's here anyway, so might as well just, like... So, Yeah, I was looking at this kid because I've been trying to see like who I would play. It's been really between like Vincent and Umar, just depending on like who registers and like what the stand like like where who would be paired against me. Look at this Umar kid. Look at this rating progression. Actually, I wonder if the graph would show. Yeah, he's been improving really fast. This is all all just last year. He went from like 1100 to 1550, and he's doing it by just gaining points and like just gaining a lot of rating. Like he gained like 100 here, 150 or something here, 100 here, or almost 100. So yeah. Oh no, yeah, I know you're, or I guess you are here. I'm just looking at like, so we'll see. I mean, being a 2C in this field, I don't necessarily expect to do well rating wise. I mean, I think I could do it, but it'll just be hard. We'll see though. We will see. Any other developments just in the overall? Nice. All right. So we are 1770. Honestly, pretty happy about that, but we'll see if that lasts after the Swiss. But I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna get going. Gonna probably hit the hay here pretty soon. Appreciate everyone showing up. Everyone who did show up and come watch, as well as everyone who is watching the live stream back. And just wanted to shout out Eric for a good game, good match, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. See ya.